I'm not seeing it. I had a bad day. I was parked here earlier, and there's a creek right here. I wanted to follow it. It actually goes up this way, but then I saw another swamp that's just back in here. So I flew the drone over the swamp just to check things out, because I wanted to check out the area, maybe do some hunting back here later this fall. And my drone got above the swamp, and all of a sudden it said lost signal to controller. So I tried to hit the return to home. Nothing. I waited and waited, and it didn't come back. And then I thought, well, it lost signal, and then I'll put the picture on here what it showed. It was still hovering, like it was still in the air. So I'm just wondering, if it loses signal, it's supposed to just stop and hover, it said. So then I just gave up, went home. And then after I got home, I said, well, what if, when the battery died, if it was still hovering, if it returned to home? And it would have came in this area somewhere. So I said, drive back to that location and let's just take a look around. And I know it's not always exactly. It took off when my truck was parked right here. So it took off right about here. So I'm gonna check all the bushes here, and because sometimes it's within, like, 20 feet off or something. But when I said find my drone on the app, it pointed back there right above the swamp. So I'm like, well, I guess if it loses control, it just crashes. Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was supposed to just hover. But it'd be impossible to find it if it went into here. It's gonna be really, really hard to find. Even back at that swamp, I don't even know if I can get to it. From this location, it's about 400 meters that way. And it's what you see is what you get. Now there is, like, the creek flows here on the other side of this. So if I got to the other side of the creek, I might bring back the canoe. I'm gonna see. Oh, the trail down there actually followed the wildlife trail. It's all real skinny little trail, and went down to the water there. Probably crosses and goes straight up the other ridge there, where it's open. That's probably exactly where they're going. Just crossing the creek right here. So my other option, the main road is down here. I could park on the main road, walk all the way up the side of this creek, and that should get to that swamp where the drone technically went down. But did it? Or did it just lose signal as I was pushing forward, and it just kept going forward forever and ever until the battery dies? Which would have been, God knows where that would have ended up. A long ways in the middle of nowhere. So I don't have time tonight, and it's dark and overcast, and tomorrow I think I'll do that. I'm just debating if I brought the canoe. Like, it gets right thick down beside the water here that you'd have to bring a machete in. Well, I got a machete in the truck. And basically clear out the trail to get in. And there's a little bit of water in the creek here, but down by the road it looked pretty dry, so I'm guessing there's a dam right in here somewhere. But looking at the Google Earth image of where the drone should be, it's all just, it looks like this kind of stuff here, right? It's all like muskeggy, but with a little wee creek through it. There's no water. Now, you can still, this cut was just done like maybe 2 years ago, and this cut as well as the other new cut back there are on Google Earth. So I'm like, okay, well, it's a fairly recent and it has been dry. So I'm wondering, do I put the waders on and follow the edge of the creek, or do I bring the canoe here and try and go as far as I can and then bushwhack to that swamp? I'm thinking if it went down in any of the, like the swampy stuff, the black, if it went into that, I'll never get it back. You'll never find it. We'll never know where it went because it'd be covered over by now even. So, but I gotta look, right? This is why I can't have nice things, as I told Tucker. I brought him home, had supper, and then that's when I got thinking, well, what if it came back to the, and it was just sitting right here. If anyone finds it, it actually has the Darren Davidson Outdoors sticker on the top of it. So hopefully they'll hunt me down on YouTube or Instagram. Yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere here, but I'll continue looking for a few minutes because I always feel better walking around the woods than walking around in town. This is what a clear cut looks like. I would have had some pretty good drone footage of it for you, but that's the main reason I want it back. I'm like, I don't even care if it's destroyed. I just want the memory card out of it. So way up in there is basically where I was. This is a creek. I was saying. That's why I'm like, I don't know. It might be easier just to try and walk the edge all the way up, because there's not much water in it right now. Not at all. Beavers have been coming, or this is probably people trapping minnows. But I'm like, I don't know. But I know there is a beaver dam up here somewhere. There was anyway. I know that edge of the swamp, I walked all the way, like way the hell down. But now that was, I don't know, years ago. 6, 7, 8 years ago. My buddy and I were moose hunting. And we just decided to follow the creek all the way down. That was some interesting, I'll tell you that. You step in the wrong hole, and I was glad my buddy was with me, because I'd probably still be there to this day. Somebody would have eventually found me, I'm sure. But yeah, I went waist high and I couldn't get out. He had to help me out. Maker or laker, eh? It was 5 cents. Stupid people drinking and driving. 10 cents, actually. Not 5 cents. But now, see, this is a tree line you could see. Yeah, I used to walk this road just to, every spring, just to collect the beer cans along it. You'd usually make about $10 or $15 in beer cans, which is sad. I don't think you'd make as much anymore. People are slowing down on that. See, now this. This kind of section, we'd be able to walk through this, no problem. But like I say, it's starting to get dark, so I'm not going to do it tonight. But I think if I follow this all the way back, we'll get close. I think. Because, yeah, you can walk through this stuff. Because this would be pretty easy. Oh, look, there's a trail right here. Somewhat of a trail, anyway. Oh, yeah. There's a trail right here. Probably just a wildlife trail, mind you. It's a trail. Would have followed on the other side. Uh-oh. Now we're getting into her, though. Yeah. Yeah, they hang out here and they think about it, but they go right through there. Or through here, yeah. Can't really see it on the camera, but I can definitely see a clear path through there and through here to the other side. Alright. We'll try and do that tomorrow. Alright. Mosquitoes are starting to find me. Thought they were done for the year, but I guess not. Guess we better get out of here before Sasquatch finds us. Or a bear eats us for lunch. This is only August. If it was September, I'd be worried about bull moose. I'd start going into the rut. Animals definitely use this. Probably connects on to the trail where I was at the cut. There is an animal trail right to it. It looks like it gets thinner over here, maybe. This looks like I come up through here. Follow nature. Nature will always show you the way out. Back to the truck. Look hard enough along here, you'd probably find animal tracks. That's an old bear track. Huh. Alright. We'll come back in the morning and we'll try and get back there. Looking at that Google Earth imagery where it says it went down, there is water there. I don't know. It looks like black muck. If it went in there, it's gone anyway. Alright. Did I find the drone? No! Okay, what you guys didn't know, I didn't let you know yesterday, is I had a secondary drone at home. I accidentally ordered 2 of them. I was sending one back. And, well, there's a whole story behind how I ended up with 2. But I was about to send one back, and then the other one arrived, and I'm like, wait a minute, if I keep this one, at least I have a spare battery, right? And a spare drone, because we all knew at some point out here in the great blue yonder, I was about to crash or lose my drone or something, right? So after investigating, There's a bunch of things I did wrong. One, the app for DJI app needed to be updated. I didn't update it before flying. Probably should have. Another thing yesterday, when I went to take off, I noticed there wasn't a message on the top left corner where there usually is saying takeoff permitted. It didn't have any message at all. It didn't say you can't take off, didn't say whatever. So I'm like, okay. Another thing, the battery that was in it yesterday was the one I bought as a spare battery online. Now, when I first turned it on, it was just blinking, the light. And I'm like, okay, the battery's asleep or something. But then all of a sudden it powered up. So I'm like, okay, it's good to go. But what I'm thinking is, also when I put this one on, I booted it all up and everything. It needed a firmware update. And I'm like, I bet you that battery that I got didn't get that firmware update. So without an updated app, without the firmware update, without even having permission on the screen saying permitted to take off, all these things lined up, 3 strikes you're out. Sure enough, it just lost connection to the controller and down it went. So we're gonna fly this and we're gonna go see. I'm nervous about it, but we're gonna go see if the drone is that way. It's in there somewhere. We'll see. I'm nervous about it though, because I'm like, what if I lose connection with this one and it crashes? But I did everything. I spent 10 minutes updating everything this morning, and it gave me the message, permitted to take off, everything's good. I'm like, okay, let's try this. Okay, and we are back safely. And where it says, when I did the app to say find my drone, it actually showed it above the water. Like I flew just past that point where I came down to look, and it's all water. There's a beaver house in it. He's got it all dammed up, and it's definitely water. So I'm like 99% chance it's gone for good. I tried to, you saw in the video, I tried to get right down as low as I could, get above that white object, thinking it's probably just flowers or something. As soon as I got just below the tree line, it started flashing saying losing contact. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not about to lose 2 drones here. So I instantly went straight up with it, and as soon as I got above the trees, I had full bars on connection and everything. I'm like, okay, we're good. And then I just flew around this entire clear cut here just to give you a view of what a clear cut looks like. This was cut I think about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, and see, it's starting to come up. Like, this is all new growth here, but I don't know. I call this a clear cut. They probably call it select cut because they left some standing. But the problem with this is a big windstorm comes up, or any kind of thunderstorm, these trees end up bending right over, and most often they end up snapping and you kill them anyway. So why they left some of these, well, I guess they left them because they're too skinny to use as lumber, right? But I don't know. It's just sad. Nothing's ever left natural. There's logs buried in dirt, which, yeah, it'll eventually decompose. And it's just, they leave it a mess, right? That's the only thing I don't like about logging. But at the same time, I live in a stick house. So, you know, when you live in a house made of what comes out of here, it's hard to complain about logging. And living here my whole life, I get it. Like, it's, if you're not into trucking, logging, or mining, then why the hell you live here? I'm into trucking, so, well, and farming. Farming's the big thing in northern, well, in this section of northeastern Ontario. It's huge. Oh, anywho, we'll end the video right here. But what I will probably do on this one is you can get the insurance. I looked up the price when I was doing all the log on stuff. It's only like 36 bucks a year. Well, 36 US it said, so it's going to be like what, $100 Canadian. I'm getting probably 50 Canadian, something like that. And they'll drop the price if you get a drone take off like I did. Like maybe it did just take off. Maybe it either losing connection to the controller, though it probably just fell straight out of the air and disappeared underwater. And yeah, but you can get it replaced if that kind of thing happens for, I think it said $115 US. So it's almost, it's 200 and at least $200 Canadian, a little over 200. So I'm like debating, do I get it? Because it was 360 bucks Canadian or something I paid, plus shipping. So yeah, it's 400 bucks after shipping and everything, and they will cover the shipping costs, they said. So I'm like, it just might be worth putting that $36 a year insurance on it, or $56 for 2 years. Oh yeah, I was driving out here and I see something gold on the ground. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, I don't even want to know what the loggers were doing back here. Seriously.